quick things about city bridges that people have been asking about. The Junior Avenue Bridge is open to traffic. However, the Schilling Bridge is closed to traffic. And lastly, just on a city end of things, a lot of city crews are working in the city of Wheeling neighborhoods, working to clean up debris and some of the streets, especially along the Elm Grove area, Woodsdale area, Forest Hills, etc. If you're a city resident, you're asked to put any debris at curbside, and sanitation and operation workers will come and clean those up. Just to introduce who's going to be speaking here, we expect this to be a little bit of a shorter briefing today than in the past. First will be Assistant Ohio County Emergency Management Agency Assistant Director Tony Campbell. He will discuss some of the weather updates that people might be concerned about, questions regarding FEMA, reporting damages, volunteers, dumping-related questions. Chief Deputy Kent Lewis with the Ohio County Sheriff's Office will give us an update on the fatality numbers, missing people, and a little bit of confusion on that and some of those numbers, and some traffic concerns and cars that were pulled out of the creeks and what people might need to know about that. Assistant Fire Chief Derek Jameson with the Wheeling Fire Department will give a brief update on search and recovery efforts, and talk a little bit about that. And then Wheeling Police Deputy Chief Josh Sanders just on some cleaning and traffic related things. So I'll turn it over to Assistant Director Tony Campbell.
Good afternoon. The first thing I want to talk about is the weather. I know it's a great concern for all the citizens, especially those in Valley Grove, Triadelphia area that are out there diligently working to get their yards and their houses cleaned out or cleaned up. Talking to the National Weather Service, which we are continuously in contact with them. Today's kind of going to be a different day. We're going to have off and on rain. The problem with today's rain is there are times we may get up to an inch and an hour of rain. Not that that's a significant amount, but sometimes we have those fronts that stall over top of us. So if we have that heavy rain and it doesn't move anywhere, there's a possibility there could be some flash flooding. So we're always on the lookout for that. As I said, we're in constant contact with the National Weather Service. So if we do see that, we certainly are going to be able to notify the community that that's going to occur. More so, we're worried about tomorrow night especially, because there's some heavy storms that are going to roll through here that have heavy wind. The problem is, again, just like when we had the flash flooding, we cannot predict how long it's going to be over top of us. So we're advising everyone, if it rains for a longer period than 20 minutes, you should start looking around to see if you have any rise in your creeks or streams. If that's the case, of course, we have both the police department and sheriff's department. We'll try to alert the residents. We will use our WEN system to alert the residents, as well as we can local media and radio, TV, and so forth. The problem with that is, again, like I said, we don't know exactly how much is going to occur, but we will keep abreast of it. And if we do get further information, we'll certainly pass that along tomorrow. Whether it's on Facebook or it's on our website for EMA and any of the websites that we made available, we will certainly get that information out to you. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is FEMA. There's a lot of questions from residents as to what FEMA does. Why aren't they here? How come nobody's at information centers to what's going on? The way it works is there has to be a declaration that there's been an event. That has been done through the city and the county. That has been done through the state. What we're waiting for is a presidential declaration. Once there is a presidential declaration, that's when FEMA is activated. They will come and they will start doing what they do. In the meantime, what we need, and we talked about this yesterday, is there's an individual survey that we need to be completed by everyone. Now, that individual survey, what that does, it allows FEMA to know and the state of West Virginia to know that you've had an incident at your residence and that you do need assistance. In that, when you fill out that survey, what you need to do too is also upload and download those pictures into that survey. Why is that important? Well, what happens is when people have damage, they think to themselves, I need to clean up this damage, then I need to repair what needs to be repaired. If you take out what's damaged and you start repairing, like putting new drywall in, putting new electric in, if you had to put a new roof on, when FEMA comes in, they don't recognize that as being damaged. They recognize that as a house that's okay. So again, I know what you want to do, and it's okay to start taking things out, but you have to document everything you do. Now, there's a QR code that we are passing around to the residents of Triadelphia and Valley Grove. It's posted on our command vehicle out at Respecs. We posted at the Community Center at Triadelphia. We've also posted it at the Volunteer Fire Department at Valley Grove. We're going to have volunteers go out and help you with that survey, or you can call 211 and 211 will walk you through that survey or help you with it. Now, I realize that there's people that don't have the technology to do that. We are currently trying to secure some iPads, and we'll have volunteers that can go out in the community and help you fill out that survey. But again, I can't stress to you how important it is to get that survey done and get it filled out. Next week, we have a tremendous amount of volunteers that are going to go out in the community and help you. Now, what do I mean by that? It's pretty extensive. We have volunteers that are willing to tear out your walls, to do mold remediation, to replace drywall, to replace electricity. And of course, this is all free of charge from these organizations. They're mostly religious organizations that are coming into the area. So they'll all be identified by hopefully some kind of name card on there. But I want to assure you, when they come to you, they're going to say who they are. We will get a list out of who these organizations are and what they're going to be doing. There's also a group of people that have called in and volunteered to help. We have West Virginia VOAD, which takes care of volunteers in the state of West Virginia to assign them where they need to be. So we're going to have them assign people to those specific areas. We'll try to be as quick as we can getting to those areas, but please be patient with us. Again, the organizations all volunteer. They're going to do the best job that they possibly can, but they can't just go that fast. One of the other things I think about is people want their electricity on. I understand that. AEP understands that. The problem is they can't turn your electricity on if you have a problem with your electrical service. Okay, what do I mean by that? If you were flooded it and went into your plugs on your wall, if they energize it, there's a possibility that it could spark and catch fire. So we're trying to organize some people that can actually come in and do inspections of your house as far as the electric goes. I can't promise that we're going to have volunteers do that. I mean, if you have means that you can have someone come in and say that your house is okay to re-energize, then AEP will re-energize it for you. Till then, we'll see if we can work on getting additional help up here in either Triadelphia or Valley Grove. The last question I would like to cover is people have big questions about dumping. Unfortunately, what happened was we have plenty of people, again, that wanted to volunteer. They went out, they picked up debris, and they took it to the dump. Well, when they took it to the dump, naturally they're going to get charged for it. They were quite upset about it, and I understand, I apologize. You know, that could be partially my fault because I wasn't 100% sure how we were going to proceed with this procedure. But what has to happen is we had to have a dump site where you can take household material and be dumped. That's EPA regulated, DEP regulated. So today, Mr. Russell through Ohio County has secured an area where that can be done. For household dumping, like your wood, whatever you're putting in to be dumped, has to be taken up to the Highlands. Behind the Highlands Best Buy is where that dumping site will be. Now there's going to be another dumping site that the Army Corps of Engineers will be using, and they will be coming around sometime either tomorrow, this weekend, or next week. What we ask is citizens that have debris, please bring it to the curb. If you bring it to the curb or to the roadside, that makes it easier for them to remove those materials. Okay, thank you.
All right, good afternoon again. Fortunately, with our death toll has increased due to this disaster. It has increased now to 7 in total, with the confirmed recovery of Connie Vernos, 71 of Moundsville, along with her husband, who we already recovered, Michael. We are still actively searching for individuals that have been reporting missing to us. With that being said, we're trying to clear up some of the issues or confusion that might be out there. If anyone, and we're asking anyone that has anyone of their loved ones that are unaccounted for to please contact 304-234-3656, even if you've already reported them missing. And while you're calling, please provide the individual that answered the phone with specific details or descriptions of that person and also where they were last known to be seen. We're still asking the community to limit their travel on Route 40 from Triadelphia, to Valley Grove, as we are doing an extensive cleanup and attempts to restore, as was stated, the power and utilities back to those citizens. Unless you absolutely have to be in those areas, we ask again that you still stay out of those areas so that the crews can do their job and get everything cleaned up and get everybody back onto somewhat of their feet. With the assistance of the local towing crews in our area, we have recovered approximately over 20 vehicles from the waterways. With that being said, we understand that individuals might not know where their vehicles are at, and they're going to want to reach out to the companies to find out if they have their vehicle. So the tow companies we have been utilizing so far is Braden's Towing. You can contact them at 304-243-1586, and also Ace Garage at 304-233-0233. I should say that if individuals had private contact with outside towing companies, we don't have those accounted for. So if they did, they're going to have to contact the private entities to recover their vehicles. All right, thank you. Well, one other thing, I just wanted to confirm again the roads that are still closed in Ohio County and Wheeling. Still closed, Warden's Run Road in the city of Wheeling, obviously the Schilling Bridge, Lumber Avenue, Route 40, National Road, Triadelphia to Valley Grove in Ohio County, GCMP Road in Wheeling and in Ohio County. Specifically, we want to point out that at Bethany Pike and GCMP Road around a local convenience store named Bogey's Carryout, that bridge is shut down. We are urging people not to go through that business's parking lots to gain access to GCMP Road. That's only going to be available for residential traffic, people that actually live in that area, so they can get their residence. Middle Creek Road in Ohio County, Peters Run Road in Ohio County, Dixon's Run Road in Ohio County, Short Creek Road in Ohio County, McGraw's Run Road in Ohio County, Atkinson Crossing, Battle Run Road in Ohio County, and Point Run Road in Ohio County. We're asking everybody to please stay off those roadways so we can get them back open as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Just to update the search and recovery efforts, today we were doing drone mapping along the entire affected area. We do have K-9 units to continue to do searches along the creek bank with the support of other crews. We also have a boat on the river with a K-9 unit on it, and what they're checking is debris piles and snags along the riverbank and any debris that may have piled up along barges. Like Ken said, we have at least 20 cars that have been pulled from the creeks. All of those cars, when they're pulled out of the water, they are searched and they all have been cleared. We do have a team of kayak searchers that are out and they're accessing areas that ground crews are having difficulty to get to. As far as operations, they'll continue until this evening, as long as it's safe to do so. Please give them room to work. And we would like to express just a huge thank you to everyone. Right now, they are just too numerous to name, but the assistance that we have received community-wide has been exceptional. Thank you.
Again, thank you, folks. And I mirror Chief Jameson's comments about the community. Huge shout out to this area for all of their help. Again, if you do want to volunteer, we have given out that number numerous times. I don't want to get it wrong, 304-234-7109. Please coordinate. It helps to create less confusion if we have coordination of volunteers and donations. So please use that phone number for that. The Wheeling Police Department has been proud to work with all of these folks during these last couple of days, and teamwork stands out as one of the biggest things that we've seen. Very little to report from our end. Road closures, again, we've been helping with that road closure at GCMP and Warden Run. If you're a local resident, just use those roads and pay attention to those road closures. Elm Grove Business District, we want to very much clean the mud off of that roadway. It's been difficult with parked cars. We are planning a cleaning of National Road in the Elm Grove Business District tomorrow morning, and we are posting no parking signs along National Road in that area so that DOH and city operation crews can get the inches of mud off of that roadway and clean that roadway for those folks that live and work right there. And that's all we have from the Wheeling Police Department at this time.
Open up to questions at this time. So if you have a question, just identify what you want to talk to. Or
How many do we have accounted for? I've seen 2, I've seen 1. How many people are still unaccounted for at this time?
At this time, that's why we're trying to get it cleared up. Is my belief that we are at 1, potentially 2. That's why we're asking for anybody that has already reported someone as missing to just call back in so we can reconfirm those, so we can get that a clear number. But we are still actively looking, we know for at least 1.
You're saying 8 confirmed dead and 1 still missing, or?
7, and then 1 missing, potentially 2, we'll say it that way, and that's why we need those individuals to give us a call back. Anybody that has anybody they believe is missing, to give us a shout back.
Looking at some of these road closures, do you guys have any timetables on which ones we might see opening first, or when these might start reopening?
There's no timetables on it. I mean, we have to get the roadway first cleared, and, you know, powers above us have to assess damages to, a lot of these are the feeder roads that come in to Route 40 that have bridges that go, that connect to them, which those infrastructures have to be checked to make sure they're safe for the, you know, community to travel upon. There's no set time frame, and I wouldn't want to misrepresent anything to the community for that.
Where all the cars were, there was a strong smell of gasoline along there, I guess you could say. Is there any concern about environmental concerns for that area?
I know the DEP, sorry. The DEP has been working with us, so that would be more of a question for them, but we are aware that there are spills and chemicals and fuel that have gone into the water, and that, I believe, is one of the reasons why the debris can't simply be taken to the dump. It has to be separated and properly disposed of. But the DEP would be actively involved with that.
Not only the DEP, but the DNR, you know, their waterways are what they're concerned about. So most of the debris that's going to be taken out, when they take it up to the Highlands, there's an inspector there. It's going to look and see what they have. They take everything and separate it, because a lot of times people have propane tanks, so they'll send a propane tank up, or they have a refrigerator, or they have a stove. So all those things have to be separated. So that's all coordinated. That's why Assistant Chief Jamison reported that the DEP, EPA is going to want to make the decision on that.
Jonathan, you good? Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And you are watching officials from Ohio County and the city of Wheeling provide an update on the fatal floodings that took place this past weekend. We do have some resources for flood victims. If anyone in the public has questions or you need to report someone missing, you can do so by calling the EMA at 304-234-3756. And again, officials saying the death toll has reached 7. They are searching for 1 more, potentially 2 more. So even if you have already reported somebody missing, they're asking you to call back, provide a detailed description of the person so they can confirm how many people are still missing. Again, they're saying 1, potentially 2. There was